Today we are going to discuss regarding R programming, or you can say it as R language. So from today till next weekend, what shall we do is we shall continue our journey. We shall do the journey in R programming. Okay. So what are the main objectives? Is to learn what is R programming, to see what are the different data structures in R programming. So to know about different data structures in R programming like matrix, arrays, data frames, and not only that, our agenda would be we will work with that particular data structures, and we shall know certain libraries like ggplot, qplot, ggplot2 and other things which are used for data analytics and data visualization. Okay, so this is what we are going to do with this R programming. So let us start the R language. So what we are going to do is we are going to understand what is R programming, and then we are going to see certain uses and applications of R language in today's session. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's session. So if you see what is R? So R is used as a tool for statistical analysis by data scientists, statisticians, and analysts. Okay, so R is a tool which is used mainly for statistical analysis by data scientists and by statisticians and by analysts. Okay, and if you see what is R in more, so R is a statistical tool. You see here R is a statistical tool. We have few other statistical tools also like SAS, SPSS, and Python. Okay, so these are also statistical tools. Okay, so whatever I am mentioning now, SAS, SPSS, Python. So why R? So why when we have SAS, SPSS, and Python, why R language? Because we already have all these things right in the market. Then what is the need of this R language? The main thing is R can manage any data. Okay, so R can manage any data. R can execute statistical techniques like logistic regression, linear regression, forecasting, and so on. Okay, so first point is R can manage any data. Yes, it can manage any data. Fine. And R can also, we can also execute certain statistical techniques like logistic regression and linear regression. And we can also do forecasting using this R language. So you might get also, you might have listened about SAS, okay, software, it's like statistical analysis software. So if you want to see what is, if you want to know what is SPSS, SPSS stands for Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. Actually, it is a community which is formed by the statisticians, okay, and it is used for data analytics and statistical analytics, guys, okay. So even R also is used for the same purpose. And if you see why R, okay, the main thing is R can manage any data, okay, and in any form. So you can manage any data using R language of any size and any form. So whether it might be textual data, either it might be numerical data, sometimes if it might be an Excel data, sometimes it might be a data in the form of a matrix or anything. And the volume, it doesn't matter whether it has 1,000 records or 10,000 records or anything like that, but you can manage data of any size and any form. And one more specialization, and if you see why R again, R can visualize the data really well. Okay, you can do the data visualizations very well using R. And one of the important thing is like R is open source. So R is open source in the sense like everyone can download and use. I can download and use R, you can download and anyone. And if you see, a large community is contributing to this R language. So many people are using this R language as a part of the people, not only analysts, statisticians, and a lot of people are using this R language. Okay. And if you see what is the specialty of R, so the specialty of R is R does not use much code. Okay. So you don't have a complicated coding procedures or so many complications in R language. And R does not uses much code. So what is the reason why R does not uses much code is mainly the reason is this R language is not meant for the programmers, guys. This R language is designed or it is developed for statisticians and analysts because they are non-programmers. Okay. So for them to work with R and for them to use R language should be very simple. That is the reason R does not uses much code. Okay. And many complicated procedures can be executed in R by just calling a function. So you just use a function and you can call many functions and complicated procedures in R language and you can execute so many tasks. And if you see R is used by some pretty and large famous organization. Okay. So R is used by Facebook, Mozilla, Google, Lloyd, Ford. Okay, so many of the tech giants uses this R language. Okay, and if you see what is the history of this R language, come here. So this is the history of R language. So first point, as we discussed, R is a open source programming language. So R is a language and environment for statistical computing and graphics. Okay. So it is mainly used for statistical computing and data analytics. First, how this R program has started is initially, guys, it was started as GNU project, which is similar to S language. And later on, so this GNU project, which is similar to S language, it was being developed in Bell Laboratories. Okay, so this Bell Laboratories formally it is called as AT&T. So if you go to the past few decades, the AT&T is a popular service thing, software services things, and this S language was improved and it was developed with the name of R language by John Chambers and his colleagues. Okay, so initially it was started as a project in the name of S language, or which is similar to S language, and then it has been developed with the name of R language by John Chambers and his colleagues. Okay, so that's how this R programming language has come into the market. Okay, and if you see the comparing the trends of R with its competitors, so when we see the comparisons, so it is far more better than SPSS, it is far more better than SAS, it is far more better than Stata. So R is in the top in the market. Okay, so it is the popularity of R is increasing more as well as. And so this is how to install R. So if you want to install R, you will have a lot of videos in YouTube. You can search for that one, or else you can go to the link. So this is the link. Okay. So I will copy paste this link and I will send to everyone in the chat box. Okay. So you can use this link. Just a moment. I'm doing that one in the chat. So please everyone download that one. Please download that one. So that is a link to download R Studio. Please download that R Studio. So once you download this R Studio, okay, so this would be the look and feel or the UI of the R Studio. So come here. So this is the look and feel of R Studio. Okay, it will have many things. So if you see here, so this is the coding part. We write the code and everything here. And this is a console window. So whatever you write and you execute, you can see in the console window. So here you will have history and environment and variables, whatever variables we create and all. And here you can see the help window and the plots, various plots and visualizations you can see here. Okay. So this is the coding one, this is the console, this is the environment, history or variable window, and this is the plots or help window, you can see the plots, visualizations, whatever you have developed over here. Okay. So this is how the look and feel of the UI of our studio will be. Okay. So this is what the thing is. Now, if you go in depth, okay, so let us do a deep dive of our studio. So let us start to understand what are the different data types of our studio and why the data types are important and what are the different data types in our language. Okay. So if you see the types of data in our language, so these are the types of data, guys. So we have numeric. So numeric means it refers a number or a numeric value. Fine. For example, in other languages, see, there will be a differences between language to language, the data types and other things. Even R has its own type of data types. So if you see here, in our language, 2 is called as a numeric. 2 is a numeric. Okay, so 2 is a numeric. As well as 2.1 also is a numeric. Okay, so numeric refers to any number. Suppose I take any number 3 or 4 or 5, it refers to numeric or any value. Suppose, for example, 2.1, 2.5, even this also is refers to numeric. Okay, so that is the numeric you need to understand. And next we have integer. What is integer? Integer means numeric data can be converted into integers using a script. So you can convert an integer. So 2 is an integer, 3 is an integer, 4 is an integer. So these numbers will refer to integers. Numeric means it can be an integer, a number or with a decimal. Do remember that. Okay. And next, logical refers to the values either true or false. So true or false. Okay, true or false. We name it as logic. In other language, we refer to true or false with a logical thing and all. But if you see here in our language, true or false refers to logic. Okay, so logic, they refers to logic. Fine. And come here, character. In other languages case, for example, we have a textual data. For example, I have A equal to hello. Suppose if I say A equal to India. Okay, what is this? This is a textual data. It is a text data. In other languages, for example, if you take Python, okay, so in Python, this text data is called as strings. But in Python, in our language, this textual data is referred as character. Okay, so we call textual data as a character. And do remember, textual data will always be mentioned within double quotations. Okay, for example, if I say A equal to hello. So this hello should be always within double quotations. Then only it is treated as textual data. Suppose if I say B equal to 10. So there, though it is numeric 10, but it is treated as textual data. Why? Because it is in double quotations. Okay. So what is the thing you need to remember? Anything within double quotations will be treated as textual data in our language. So anything within double quotation is treated as textual data in our language. And we call the textual data in our language as character. So what we call? We call it as a character. Fine. And next factor. So what is factor? It refers to categorical data. Okay. So for example, guys, if you take male, female, cities like Hyderabad, suppose in a data, we have male, female and all. So if you want to know more about categorical data, what I will do is I will open a data set. So come here. So let me go to the dataset folders and then let me open demographic data. I'm opening this Excel. Okay. So in this Excel, we have columns like country name, country code, birth rate, internet users, and then income. Fine. So if you see the column of income group, in this income group, we have high income, we have low income, we have upper middle income, we have lower middle income, and all. So what are these? These are the different categories of this income group. So this type of data is called as categorical data, and the categorical data in our language is called as factor. So it is called as factor in our language. That is factor. Okay. Next, if you see, we have various type of data types. Okay, so we have various types of data structures. So vector is a data structure, list is a data structure, factor, data frame, matrix, arrays. Okay, so we shall discuss about each and everything one by one. So what are vectors, what is a list, what is a factor, what is a data frame, what is a matrix, and what is an array. So these are some data structures. So if you see here, the types of data determines what can be done with it. So why data type is important? If you try to understand why data type is important, it is very important to determine. So the type of data determines what can be done with it. For example, you cannot calculate mean on textual data. For example, guys, I have a textual data. Why data types are important is, so why data types are important is, suppose I have some names. Okay, so Sri, Raj, okay, and Ravi, something like that. Suppose this is one data, and I have another data 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so you cannot calculate some things on this one. You cannot do some things on this data. You cannot do some things on this data. For example, if you take this data, you cannot calculate things like mean, median, and all. So what is the thing? Certain functions can be carried out on certain data types only. So you can do certain functions over certain data types. So that is the reason why data types are important, and that is the reason why you should know about different data types. Okay, the main reason is certain functions can be carried only on certain data types. That is the reason why the data types are important and why you should know about the data type. Okay. So this is one task which we are going to do, guys. So first, let me tell the concept. See, from here onwards, how it would be is, first I will tell you a concept. Once the complex concept is completed, you need to take a task on that particular concept. Okay. So this is how the journey will go on. Okay. So now let us try to understand what are the data structures. So in the data structures, what is a vector and how to work with vectors in our language. Okay. So this is what we are going to do. So what is a data structures? Okay. So what are data structures? If you see, data structures are used to store and organize data. So what is the main use of data structures? Data structures are used to store and organize data. They comprise of multiple data types. They are an easy and convenient way of to manage the data. So the convenient way of manage the data is to have a organized data structure. Okay. For example, if you see here, you have this column name column. Fine. So name column consists all textual data only. That is character. Okay. So here we have age column. Age column consists of all integers. So this is an integer column. Suppose if you see score column has a combination of a decimal as well as an integer. So in our language, what I told you, any number which is in a form of a decimal or if it is an integer also, it is treated as numeric to remember. So this is numeric. So data structures can be thought of as a collection of data types. If you see here, we have different data types. So what are data structures? Data structures are nothing but it is a collection of different data types. Okay. So now in our language, we have different data types, guys. Okay, data structures. In our language, we have different data structures. So out of the data structures, we have one thing called as vectors. So we have one thing called as vectors. So today what we are going to do is we are going to deal with vectors. Okay, so that is what we are going to